Hello, this is Mr. Led Zeppelin 100, and I'm going to do something new starting today. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to do a tribute to a specific rock band, like read their biography, and play a song while I read the biography. Now, the first biography I'm going to do is Megadeth. And yes, I know Megadeth's still touring and all, but this is just what they have been doing up until now. Now I'm going to play Peace Sells. I'm going to open up a biography. Go. Here we go. Okay, got it. Here we go. After he left Metallica in 1983, guitarist/vocalist Dave Mustaine formed the thrash metal quartet Megadeth. Though Megadeth followed the basic blueprint of Metallica's relentless attack, Mustaine's group distinguished themselves from his earlier band by lessening the progressive rock influences, adding an emphasis on instrumental skills, speeding the tempo up slightly, and making the instrumental attack harsher. By streamlining the classic thrash metal approach and making the music more threatening, as well as making the lyrics more, whatever that word is, holistic or whatever. Sorry. Megadeth became one of the leading bands of the genre during the mid-80s and late 80s. Each album they released went at least gold, and they continually sold out arenas across America, in addition to developing a strong following overseas. By the early 90s, they had toned their music down slightly, yet it simply increased their following. All of their proper 90s albums debuted in the top 10. Throughout Megadeth's many lineup changes, the two core members were bassist Dave Ellefson and guitarist/vocalist Dave Mustaine, born September 13, 1961, who was the band's official leader. Mustaine grew up in the suburbs of Southern California, where he was raised by his mother in a broken home. Frequently, his mother left him to be raised by aunts and uncles, who never encouraged his musical inclinations, and often belittled him for his fondness for heavy metal. In 1981, he formed Metallica with James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich. Mustaine spent 2 years with Metallica, developing a strong cult following in California's underground metal scene. Before he was kicked out of the group in 1983, allegedly over his substance abuse. Immediately following his firing, he formed Megadeth with Ellefson, Slayer guitarist Kerry King, and drummer Lee Rauch. This lineup was extremely short-lived, and Mustaine and Ellefson soon recruited guitarist Chris Pullen and drummer Gar Samuelson. For the next few years, Megadeth toured and gained the following, signing with the independent label Combat in late 1984. The following year, the group released their debut, Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good, which received strong reviews not only in metal-oriented publications but also in mainstream music magazines. The album sold very well for an independent release, which attracted the attention of major record labels. By the end of the year, the group had signed with Capitol. Megadeth's first major label album, Peace Sells But Who's Buying, was released in the fall of 1986. Like its predecessor, Peace Sells was greeted by strong reviews and sales. It eventually went platinum. Although the band's fortunes were on the upswing, Mustaine was beginning to sink deeper into drug abuse, specifically heroin. Soon his addictions began. Hold on. That's the end of the song. Now where were we? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Although the band's fortunes were on the upswing, Mustaine was beginning to sink deeper into drug abuse, specifically heroin. Soon his addictions began to affect his work. Many stories concerning his erratic behavior were circulating within the metal community, and they seemed to be proven correct when he fired both Poland and Samuelson before recording the band's third album. They were replaced by Jeff Young and Chuck Ballher, respectively. The new lineup debuted on So Far So Good So What, released early in 1988. So Far So Good peaked at number 28 on the charts and also eventually went platinum, despite less enthusiastic reviews. It also featured an atrocious cover of the Sex Pistols' Anarchy in the UK with incorrect lyrics. In the years immediately following the release of So Far So Good So What, Mustaine was impaired by his drug addictions. In early 1990, he was arrested for driving under the influence and entered a rehabilitation program. By the end of the year, he was not only sober, but he had reconvened the band, firing Young and Ballher and replacing them with guitarist Marty Friedman and drummer Nick Menza. The lineup recorded Megadeth's fourth and most progressive album, Rust in Peace. The record peaked at number 23 on the American charts and went platinum. 1991 saw Metallica break through to the mainstream and sensing the possibility for similar success. Mustaine followed suit in stripping down the band's sound, though it remained as technically perfectionistic. I'm not the best reader in the world. As Rust in Peace. The result, Countdown to Extinction, was released in 1992, entering the charts at number 2. The record went double platinum and became the band's biggest hit, confirming that they had retained their audience in the wake of grunge. Now one of the most popular metal bands in the world, Megadeth moved further toward the mainstream with Euthanasia in 1994, which entered the charts at number 4, and like its predecessor, went platinum. The following year, the group released Hidden Treasures, a rarities collection that featured some of the soundtrack tunes that helped expand the group's MTV audience in the early 90s. 1997's Cryptic Writings found Megadeth fully embraced by an album Rock Radio, which formerly would never have touched the band. Ex-Suicidal Tendencies drummer Jimmy DeGrasso signed on in 1998. In time for the following year's Risk. In 2000, following the release of the Best of Capital Punishment, Marty Friedman followed Nick Menza out the door. He was replaced by former Savatage and Alice Cooper guitarist Al Pitrelli. After signing with the BMG subsidiary Sanctuary, Megadeth debuted its new lineup on 2001's The World Needs a Hero. Okay, last paragraph. While on break from touring, Mustaine suffered a serious injury in January 2002 while staying in Texas. He was diagnosed with having a radial neuropathy shortly thereafter, a condition that prevented him from playing guitar. The compressed radial nerves in his left arm and hand were strained, leaving Megadeth little resource but to disband. That's recourse, but to disband in April 2002 after almost 20 years in the music industry. During his time off, Mustaine prepared an elaborate reissue campaign, remastering each album and reissuing them with all bonus material. This campaign set the stage for a Megadeth revival, which came in 2004 to 2005. With a surprising comeback album, The System Has Failed, and some heavy touring. Capitol released a new best-of and simply titled Greatest Hits, just as Megadeth hit the summer concert circuit, headlining Mustaine's own Gigan Tour festival. In 2007, Megadeth released Politically Charged United Ambitions, followed by the simply apocalyptic Endgame in 2009. That was amazing. Well, we're running out of time here. All I gotta say was, I'm Mr. Led Zeppelin 100, and that was the biography on Megadeth. See ya.